Welcome again to another episode of Life Unscripted, where we have real conversations, unscripted journeys. We're recording from Empire Podcast Studio, and the quality that you see is the quality that you get. So let us help you broadcast your podcast. So on to today's guest, the man who speaks multiple languages, cunning linguist. English, Malay, Urdu, Hindi, and Arabic, as he so eloquently put. Certified deep sea medical rescue diver, not just any diver, medical rescue diver. And the man who I know who gave me back my crowning glory, and takes care of men's health above the head and below the head as well. So let me welcome Dr. Mazlan Muhammad, or better known as Dr. M.
Yes, thank you so much, Amar. It's great to be here today. Yeah.
So thank you for doing this.
No problem, Amar. Anything for you. Yeah. So tell me, how can I help you today, Amar?
Right. So, Doctor, before we go deep into the understanding of men's health issues and everything else in Malaysia, I want to know what made you want to be a doctor?
All right. So the first question people ask is, did your parents force you to become a doctor?
Because I think you're either of the Indian Pakistani descent, so that's like, be a doctor or don't be a disappointment.
No, because the moment you come out from your mom's womb, you're automatically predestined.
All right.
This guy, mera beta, doctor ban jayega. My son is going to become a doctor. It doesn't work that way. You see, my parents, my dad is a ophthalmologist. He's a retinal surgeon.
Okay.
He works in the UK.
Okay.
And he just retired. So now he's working with the royal family of the UK.
Okay.
He told me not to be a doctor.
Oh.
My mom is a professional aesthetic surgeon and a skin specialist. And she told me not to be a doctor.
Oh.
Right.
They're very different.
Very different. This is the other way around. So normally you hear stories of where your parents forcing you to be a doctor.
Yes.
My mom discouraged and my dad discouraged me. But growing up in a family where you see how they work, you kind of tend to not want to be a doctor. But it worked the other way around for me.
Right.
Because as I grew up, I realized something about surgery ignited some passion in me. I'm not saying I love medicine as a whole. Because with medicine comes the long hours of working, the family times that you don't get. When people are too busy getting married, buying their sports cars, you're putting your fingers up somebody's ass and checking whether they have blood or not. Pakcik dah makan? Pakcik dah makan ke? Baru muntah tadi. Okay, berapa you muntah tadi, pakcik? I'm doing this when my friends are driving sports cars.
Right.
So I give up a lot of views. Is it worth it? But I realized I love cutting.
Wow.
I love cutting to a point where I realized I needed to do this. So when I entered med school, I told myself, I am going to have an end goal, the exit plan. I am not going to stay in KKM for too long. I am not going to earn a certain amount of salary, being told that I cannot go and see my family when I want to. I want to be the doctor that I enjoy being a doctor and I make money. So that I can enjoy that profession.
Right.
Most doctors in KKM, they become doctors and then they're stuck.
Yes.
So what happens? You start hating the profession. The profession is beautiful. The system is flawed. So I wanted to enjoy being a doctor. So that's why I did surgery and I exited after that. So if you ask me, did I always wanted to be a doctor? Yes. I wanted to be an aesthetic doctor. Yeah. Man.
And rightly so. When you say you're an aesthetic doctor, you do look aesthetically doctory.
Oh, doctor. Yeah. Thank you, Amar. Yeah, I think it's the cameras and my team that make me look good.
No, because you see, you have to be believable in the role that you play in life, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
My primary role as a business coach, and is to make businesses look good, fix businesses and everything else, which is why I gave a lot of credit to the people who make me look good, my physicians, my gym coaches and everything else, because you can't show up to a business looking sick.
Correct.
And saying you're going to nurse their business back to health.
Yeah. I agree, Amar. You see, if I didn't have hair, would you come to me?
Nope.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, what Dr. A and I believe is that before we can tell patients, we have to look good. That's why you see Dr. A dresses up very well to work.
Yes.
He has this buckle, Dr. A.
Yes.
He takes pride in being a hair transplant doctor and one of the best in KL.
Yes.
I take pride in being a men's health doctor.
Right.
If you see my team, they're all very healthy. You see how they dress up. They look good, my team. So I want to give that persona that, you know what I tell you is what I do.
Yes.
So it is very important to look the part. If I am an aesthetic doctor, hair transplant doctor, I have to groom myself in a certain way that when people see me, they get motivated. doctor, I want to be like you. Can you give me some tips?
Yes.
I'm not saying I'm the best, but as a doctor, I should not only give you medical advice, but I should give you a lifestyle advice.
Correct.
So I should walk the talk.
Yes.
Yeah, and the problem with those kind of bellies is you cannot deliver. Yeah, at least women with that bellies, they deliver. So that is the thing,
Yeah.
Amar. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I first approached Dr. A, he didn't push me for the surgery.
Yeah.
He said, no, take finasteride,
Yeah.
do the spray,
Yeah.
do the minoxidil, and your hair will thicken back.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like there's a sales agenda. Like
Correct.
there were others who were like, oh, come, we'll do 10,000 transplants for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm like 10,000, that's like all the hair. Like, what's your end game there? There's no growth plan. There's no sustainability and everything else. So in that resolve, I must say that you guys have been very consistent in your branding and everything else.
Yeah.
But I'm quite sure it's not without challenges.
Definitely. Amar, speaking on that thing, right? You see, we had one influencer. I'm not going to mention his name in this podcast, but
Please don't.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to mention. But he came to us, and he's very famous, about a few millions followers on
Wow.
TikTok. Very known for his philanthropy. So he came to us, and me and my assistant back then, I mean, still now, till today, Azrim Shah. So he was with me, and we looked at him, and I asked him a simple question: why did you choose me? Like, there's so many men's health doctors. Why me? He said, doctor, I've studied all the men's health doctor in Malaysia. I chose you is because you're sempoi. He used that word sempoi. He said, what do you mean by sempoi? You can be a friend and you can be a doctor. And I'm looking for that. So what me and Dr. A try to do is be your friend. We're not going to make money out of you if it's not necessary.
Yes.
Yes, it's a business. Yes, we are making money. But we want you to be our friend. And as a friend, we will tell you what's best for you. If transplant is not needed, no. If medicine is only needed, yes. So that is the kind of relationship, rapport that we have with our clients. Be it a Bangladeshi worker or be it a high profile VIP. Everybody is our friend at hair transplant specialist and men's health clinic.
Yeah.
So speaking about challenges, right? I think one of the major challenges that we have is patient resistant to treatment. We've done the best. My hands are the best. The technique is the best. My nurses were well fed that morning. Patients were in good condition. Hair doesn't grow. Hair grows, but not up to the patient's expectation. Why? That's one thing in medicine that humbles us. We are not God. We are only human. Though, yes, we wake up every morning to fix God's defect. But there is a limitation between a doctor and God. So when we see that 1% of patients come back to us with these problems, me and Dr. A realize this is that humbling moment. That 1% of medical science that we can never understand why. So what we do is like we tell the patient, don't worry, we will research, we will discuss with our team from overseas, from other doctors, and we will find a way to come up with a solution for you, for your body. Why are you that 1% of patient? So that moment we need to realize that, it's a humbling process. We are not perfect. We are only doctors, but we're also humans. So, and the patients understand because we are very transparent. It's not like, we blame the patient because you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do this. Your body is something wrong. Say, we understand the issue. We are going to help you. Just give us some time. So that is one of the major challenges that we face. Yeah, it's not frequent, but we do. We do. Yeah.
Because like there was a certain sorry. Okay. There was like a certain time when right after my transplant, I had some gaps.
Yeah.
Like freaking out. But again, I've from experience in the past, when I would approach the physician who prescribed me this thing, one would be blame shifting.
Yes.
Or other will be like trying to sell me more crap.
Correct.
This did not happen with you guys.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
By the way, they have not paid me anything.
No, I've not paid anything.
Right? And I'm genuinely doing this because it's turned out
very well.
Very well for me, right? Right? And you see, like I always say this, Ramly burger tastes better than any McDonald's burger ever will.
Okay.
But McDonald's has one thing that Ramly burger can never have: consistency. Be it McDonald's in Malaysia or McDonald's in Singapore or McDonald's anywhere in the world, it's always consistent.
Speaking on that, Amar, there's two things McDonald's have that Ramly Burger did not get it right. Do you agree that McDonald's is a real estate business more than it is? Do you
largest
agree?
In the world.
Largest.
Yeah.
So McDonald's is more of a real estate business than it is the F&B business.
Correct.
So real estate business is always about location.
Correct.
And the second thing they have is customer service.
Yes.
These two things Ramly Burger does not have.
Yes.
Where do you see Ramly Burgers?
Anywhere.
Anywhere and everywhere.
It's like 5 Ramly Burgers side by
Five
side.
Ramly Burgers side by side. One thing, DBKL comes and takes everything.
Correct.
Do you ever see this happening to McDonald's?
No.
And the customer service, are they trained?
Yeah.
If they had that business module, I tell you, Ramly Burger has the capacity to take over or at least be somewhere below par to
Yes.
McDonald's.
So one company that saw that, because I live in the Philippines and we're talking about business, is Jollibee.
Jollibee, okay?
They are the largest in Asia in terms of fast food restaurants.
Okay.
So much so that in Singapore, in the Philippines, McDonald's is always number 2.
There you go.
And McDonald's hates that fact.
Yeah.
They have so much more money than Jollibee ever will have, but they cannot defeat it because
The brand is
it's
established.
a different.
Yeah.
So it goes with that customer. And Filipinos are known for customer service.
Yeah.
Right?
They are. Most of the call centers are in that country, yeah.
Because it's like, hello, sir,
Yeah.
the consistency, right?
They're like Sabahans and Sarawakians. They're very soft.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what you want in customer service. Now, having trained in many different countries and having practiced in Malaysia, there's always this stigma when it comes to going to doctors, especially government hospitals or even private ones. Private ones have an ego that comes with them.
Yeah.
Why do you think that happens, Doc?
Okay. I'll tell you my journey, how we started off with Dr. A. So when I was in KKM, I used to, not to say model, but I used to get sponsored by one scrub company. So I used to take photos on my Instagram and post them after surgeries, posting with the scrub brand. I don't get paid for anything like that, but I was just doing because I liked the fact that I'm in surgery and I was able to get this special treatment that other than other my colleagues, right? So I was posting. So Dr. A picked up on it. So Dr. A was my Facebook friend back then and he picked up on it. And he said, bro, I'm looking for a junior partner. Why don't we join venture together? You see, to get into private and to be where I am today, not every doctor can get that.
Yeah.
A lot of doctors are still dying in KKM from whatever treatment that you're going through, and from not treatment, I mean from the way that whole system is built for them and against them, and they have no other option to leave. I left because I knew I was always sellable outside. So I have that ego, that self-belief, that unrealistic self-confidence that I will make it if I leave. And to your surprise, Amar, when I left on my last day in KKM in plastic surgery department, my consultant with a big belly, no hair, he looked at me and said, "You're leaving, Amazlan." I said, "Yeah." "See lah, you will fail." Direct on my face.
Really?
Yeah, because he didn't like me. Because I was always argumentative with him. I said, why do we do it this way when this method was 10 years ago? Right. I got another method which is much easier.
I think he doesn't like you because he was bald and fat. He's probably very jealous.
So. I think so. Let's benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
This guy looks like a Bollywood star.
Now my team is going to laugh. So he said that to me and I took it inside my heart and I said, I will show you because I know me. I believe in me. I lived with me. So I know me. You don't know. You only see one perspective. You are just an employee mindset. My mindset is very different. And that mindset that I shared with Dr. A. And when we came together as two brands, the rest is history. And that is why we have that ego. But one thing I love Dr. A is like, I stayed with him not because of the money, because of the man. Like our team, we have employees who became business partners. Our videographer, Kai, amazing videographer. And today he's our business partner because we invest in talent. One thing Dr. A taught us all is that to be humble. Because humility gets you people to rally by your side.
Very true.
So I've learned that from him. And before this, no, the previous Mazlan, he is egoistic. Very egoistic. But when I joined Dr. A, I've learned a new talent. How this man who's more successful than me is able to be so humble. I've learned that quality. So yes, we all have egos in the private sector because we know we are the 1% niche. Not everybody can be us. But there must come a humbling moment. And that I'm glad I have Dr. A. So yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So earlier, you just go back into what you said that in KKM, the system is designed against them.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Okay. So I'll tell you, every level of KKM. Now this is it's gearing me up. My favorite topic. All right. So we start off as low as housemanship.
Okay.
Housemanship is the basic training pathway that a doctor must go through after graduating.
Okay.
So you graduate 5 years of med school, then you have a waiting period, and then you go into the training system, which is your housemanship training. 2 years. Now, housemanship training is basically you have no power whatsoever. You're brand new fishes in the pond. You're the ikan bilis, where all the sharks, all the ikan talapia, siakap can come and eat you. Who are the siakaps? The medical officer. Who's the talapia? The medical assistant and the staff nurse. Who's the sharks? The specialists and consultants. So now you are bullied to the next level. You know how they call you? Hey, houseman, come here.
Ooh.
I had a MO, medical officer, did that to me. I looked at him and said, you do that again one more time? Yeah, of course I got extended lah.
What does extended mean?
Okay, so what does extended mean? This is another thing. So in KKM, there's two things they like to do in housemanship training. They like to blackmail you with, I will extend you. Meaning, you have a fixed 4 months rotation in each department. The moment you get extended means you do another 2 more months.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good because money comes in. Government is paying you. But that means you have a black mark now. The moment you get extended, it's a black mark. Why did you do extra rotation? You're supposed to finish 4 months, go to the next department 4 months, next department 4 months. And you finish 6 rotations. 6 departments times by 4 is 24, 2 years. Clear? So the moment you do extra, that's what you call extend. The second thing they like to blackmail you is, write me an explanation letter. And the third thing they like to blackmail you is they won't sign your logbook, so you cannot leave the department.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so this is the kind of emotional blackmail they do to housemen. Because they know, who are you going to go and complain? At the end of the day, you're disposable. Wow. Medical officers are not, especially those are in the master's program, they're not disposable. Consultants and specialists, it's very hard to train them. A lot of money invested, they're not disposable. So consultants and specialists can do whatever to you. And even if you complain, nothing can touch them.
Wow.
Because they know they're not replaceable.
Like godlike status.
Godlike status. I've had so many stories of very bad behaviors from specialists and consultants and sexual harassment.
Oh God.
And even if you complain, even if the housemen complain, they will make sure they find out that name. They give you a hell lot of time in KKM, in the housemanship program. So that is why doctors in the basic level of entry, which is the housemanship level, are suffering. Most of them are quitting. That is just that level.
They're going to quit. They're going to do back kuning.
Back kuning. What they're going to sell? Their stethoscopes. Hey, their stethoscopes are expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the first level. So then you go to the medical officer level. Medical officers are needed to work 36 hours non-stop.
What?
Yeah, I'm not joking. I come to work at 8 o'clock morning. I go back home at 2 days later, 6 o'clock morning.
How are you?
I sleep in the hospital. Yeah, you can't brain it, can you?
No, like, won't your mental capacity be reduced to be able to do your job as a human being?
Then leave. Do you have a choice, Amar?
Oh, Lord.
So I basically told myself, I am not going to tolerate this. Because there came a time during COVID, Amar, I'm going to share a very personal and heartfelt story. My uncle was diagnosed with COVID stage 3A. All right? Now, he was a favorite uncle of mine. I was a medical officer back then, a junior medical officer. I wrote to my pengarah. I said, Tuan, I need to go back home. This is my most loved uncle. Can I see him? I'm sorry, I can't approve your leave. Thankfully, he survived. He almost died. He was intubated. Somehow, by the miracle of God, he survived.
Oh, thank God.
My cousin, 1 week later, got admitted. He's asthmatic and he's obese.
Oh, dear.
He was going down. I knew he was going to die. And he made me a ring. A ring with Dr. M. So that ring, he was the one made it. He was a very close cousin of mine. I wrote again to the pengarah. Sir, this is my second family member. Please let me go. So that case was passed down to the Timbalan Pengarah. And I will never forget what she told me. Queen Elizabeth Timbalan Pengarah. She told me, you go back home and see what happens. You will not have a job when you come back.
Wow.
And he passed away.
Oh, dear.
He passed away and I couldn't see him. So after that, it built a fire in me. I say, you jokers are sitting in KKM and you guys are earning a salary and you're dictating what I do in my life. I am more capable than you guys and I will show it to you. And with Dr. A by my side, today, they are contacting me for hair transplant. So, if there's one person who changed my life, I will always salute Dr. A.
Right.
That man gave me everything I have today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he shared the same pain I shared.
But you see, how many people have the privilege to meet somebody like a Dr. A in their life? Right? A lot of them just get stagnated in the system.
So I must have done something right. I always believe two things. It's the patients that prayed for me when I took care of them, and it's also my mother's prayers. So me and my mom, we may not have, we don't see eye to eye because she's a very strong, independent woman. You know, surgeons how they are, and me being her son, you know, we always have that clash. But I know if there's one thing my mom will do, she'll always pray for me. A woman who prays, Amar, is an unstoppable woman.
Oh, yes.
So, so when she prays for me and the patients who I've cared during that, like your wife, during that palliative care phase, who are going to die, and when they pray to you in Islam, that dua is what God listens to. And maybe it's those prayers.
This is coming from a very genuine place.
And maybe it's those prayers that led me to meet a man like Dr. A.
Yeah.
And maybe Dr. A prayed for someone who he can have by himself, who's trustworthy.
Yes.
So when we both met, we realized we're both very
Prayer
alike.
is answered.
Yeah, the only difference is he's a different filter and I'm a different filter.
Right.
Color.
Right.
You get the joke, yeah, you get the joke. Yeah, because there are so many times when I walked into the procedure room, it's like, doctor, on TikTok, you look darker. No, that is Dr. A, that's not me. So this happens, but I'm very blessed to have met Dr. A. With Dr. A, I've met a whole team of very nice people. And in the Quran, it says, Amar, let me quote the Quran on this podcast. Good people will always be in the presence of good people.
Oh, that's very true.
And bad people will always be in the presence of bad people.
Yes.
So I'm glad I'm circled and always surrounded by good people in the company.
It's the law of karma.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You reap whatever you sow.
Correct.
Right? So, speaking of surgeons, I used to show this one video clip of Alec Baldwin playing a surgeon in a movie.
Okay.
So there's this woman who
a resident.
Yes. She was trying to complain on him and everything, and then he goes like,
Alex Baldwin is not resident.
Alec Baldwin.
New Amsterdam, is it?
No, this is a
way back
from 80s, 90s. Alec Baldwin is a surgeon. He's like a top heart surgeon.
All right.
And he will they'll bring him in for a hearing.
Okay.
And then the wife would say, the patient's wife would say this and that. And he's like, you know what? When you go to the room next door or in the chapel next door and you pray on your knees for God to save your husband, that's me you're praying to. I am God. Because he's got surgeon, right?
Yeah.
That huge surgeon-like ego.
Correct.
He talked about earlier the levels in KKM, the housemen and everything else, and the top guys and everything else. I have studied that one of the highest causes of death in the medical line is caused by, there's a word for it, I forgot what's the word called. It's the accident that's done by doctors. What is the word called for it?
So it's called operator failure. Surgical error. Yeah.
Right. And they can get away with it even if because for example, I have a friend now. He's had a kneecap surgery.
Okay.
He was walking great. He just needed to remove the inflammation a little bit. Doctor totally screwed up his knees. And he's in so much pain for months now. And I asked him what's going to happen. He said, I don't know. He said, but there's no recourse to that.
Correct. So, like I said, Amar, these doctors are heavily invested in their assets. So I'll tell you a personal story. When I was a junior medical officer, we had to insert a line for a patient's neck. I can do the procedure. I'm very good with my hands, if you know what I mean. But so I could do the procedure. But this guy comes in. He needs to fill up his logbook. He's a senior medical officer. He pushes me and says, let me do it. I say, I was trained in NS. I can do it. Now I was trained in emergency department. I can do it. Say, no, let me do it. I said, okay, go for it. He poked wrongly, hit the vagus nerve. The patient died on the spot.
Oh dear God.
Vagus nerve controls your respiratory breathing. The moment you hit it, pop. You know what they put there? Infection due to diabetic foot ulcer. Because the patient had a diabetic foot ulcer. It was actually his mistake. It was actually his blunder. So then KKM or whoever the body was at that point, behind him, his surgeons covered for him. You know why? Because if he goes down, guess who's going down?
Everybody.
Everybody goes down.
Well, I can relate to the story because both my parents died because of something like that. There's another doctor I would like to mention. His name is Dr. Money.
Money.
Very fiery man, right?
The man with the jeans and tucked in shirt.
Right. He's 50 plus.
Yeah, he doesn't look 50 plus.
Yes. He takes care of himself. And so there was a time I was really getting into physical shape. And I wanted to be natural. But I overdid my protein shakes by so much.
Yeah. It can affect your kidney though.
And my GFR rating was going down. Creatine was good. There was no urea
no AKI.
In the thing. But I was getting worried and I did a medical check. I was pre-diabetic.
And
I was like, what's happening? And then the other doctor that I went to prescribed me with statins and everything else. I didn't take it. I called up Dr. Money.
Okay.
Dr. Money gave me the whole 9 yards and said, you take statin, you're going to lose every muscle mass you have.
Yes, correct.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
Stop the shakes and everything else. Just go on a full cleanse, 6 months. Don't eat this, don't eat this. It's what you're going to put inside. And I followed it. 6 months later, I went back to the same doctor, did my medical checkup. They go like, Samar, you're an amazing case study because there's no more there. And she asked me, did you take all this medicine? I said, yeah, but I didn't. I didn't. I just followed the diet thing because I know my father started taking statins and everything else, and he had all these complications and everything. So you become responsible for your own health.
True, Amar. I think the most important thing is people say you are what you eat.
Yes.
I disagree. You control what you eat. That's the point of action kind of thing that you should put in your mind.
Yeah.
Because everything comes from diet.
Correct.
Your skin, your hair, your body, the way you feel. When you feel good, you want to dress up.
Correct.
When you look good, you want to dress up. You have energy for life.
Yes.
And I'm a man full of life. I want to live life. I
Right.
want to make money. I want to live life, and I want to help people who I can help. So in order to feel that, you got to look good. You got to dress good. But all comes from the food you eat. I like steak. I like high protein diet. The moment you start eating carbs and you put on some weight, you feel very lazy. You sleep a lot.
Yes.
So
the entire energy.
Yeah, it just goes down, and
Right.
it affects your sexual health.
Yes, it does.
The food that you eat are testosterone boosters.
Yes.
Your skin, if it's too oily, you're eating a lot of cholesterol. Your hair, if it drops, that means you're not eating enough vitamin D, zinc. You're taking too much protein shake. Everything is from food.
Yes.
So food is what, if a doctor can advise, a doctor should be the one telling you about the nutritional value of food.
So funnily enough, a lot of doctors do not talk about nutrition.
Yeah.
Because and I heard this with my own ears many times. They say nutrition and health, no direct correlation.
Nutrition, no. That's,
And I'm like, what? Because the doctor will say like, no, you can go on eating anything and everything else. I'm like, are you sure? This is a good thing? When I have that actual evidence that I've done this. So I always keep this picture every time I'm in doubt or like, no, you've done this health wise and everything
most
else.
important question, Amar, how do you feel?
God.
So how does that affect your daily life? Everything falls in place, right?
Like even now,
Yeah.
when I walk out or when I get up, when I look at my reflection, I feel very confident of the way I look. I'm 44 this year.
Yeah.
I'm a very big Donald Trump fan.
Okay. All right.
I'm MAGA all the way.
Okay.
Right? But it's not for the wrong reason. It's just that he is pushing the male agenda in terms of like, no, this is a man, this is a woman, this is our roles and everything else.
Yeah.
And he is 78.
Correct.
You can see the way he walks and everything else.
Yeah.
His good genes, male DNA,
yeah.
right? It's there. But you can see other men who are younger than him who are just not quite there.
Because he's always keeping his mind active.
Right?
Yeah.
And you keep your mind active because you have that sexual prowess.
Yes.
This is
correct.
the simple truth.
Yeah.
So let me know about this thing. How is it perceived in Malaysia? This idea of sexual prowess. Now, I know we have a lot of hush-hush things in Malaysia where people do kopi tongkat Ali and this and that. But you don't know how true these things are.
Yeah.
There's an actual medical thing around it, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, can. You see, Amar, if you sit in my clinic consultation, I only have one person who I allow in during my consultation because the conversations in that room, even the walls would be hush-hush about it. Yeah. Because it's very PNC. And the only person in is my assistant, Hazrim. So only both of us listen to the kind of untold stories in that room. You have VIPs, you have minister's son, you have celebrities, you have people who don't want to be named, all in that room telling me about their life's problem, their sexual problems. And I've had people who told me, you're the only doctor, only person, only man who has touched my penis. Should I take that as an honor? I don't know. But the stories they tell me is that it is a problem, Amar. It is a problem that men don't speak to another man, even to their friends. Because they think that if I speak about my sexuality, people are going to judge me. So who do I speak to? And that's why I'm here. I try to tell people that it's okay. You come and tell me. At least I'll give you a solution. But don't keep quiet. Because most marriages these days are failing because of this issue.
Yes.
I've had one patient from Brunei. He had no money. But he was so in love with the fact that I am a doctor, man's health doctor, and I'm a Muslim doctor. So in Brunei, they do not have men's health doctors. So he was looking for a guy to trust, a doctor to trust. He called me, he spoke to me online consultation, and he said, Doctor, I want to come and see you. I said, come, but I have no money. Let me find some money, I will come. He came eventually. He took treatment with me, and he borrowed his sister's money to actually come see me. He bought my supplements, he took my injections. 1 month later, Amar, I swear on my mom when I tell you this, he gave me a long text message which I shared on my TikTok. Dr. Mazlan, Assalamualaikum. Nama saya so and so from Brunei. Saya patient doktor. Terima kasih kerana menyelamatkan rumah tangga saya. I am not now no longer going through a divorce. My wife has come back to me. My sexual function is back to normal. Thank you for saving my marriage. I wish you success in your business. And now he's my constant patient. When you get this and you save someone's marriage, in Hindi we say sawab. Sawab means the blessings are so great that I feel like I'm making a difference. For that untold stories that is happening in the society, and when I can make that difference, I feel damn good. I feel damn good as a doctor. So if you ask me, there are so many things going on. TikTok shop selling magic tissue, ubat gambir,
Chocolate.
a chocolate, a tongkat ali, gummy bears. I tell people one thing. If they are not prescribed by a doctor, take them at your own risk.
Yes.
If you have kidney damage, don't come back to me. I'm not going to fix another man's problem. I'm not going to handle another man's child if that woman is divorced. You know, like, I don't want to deal with another person's problem. You either trust me and listen to my advice because I'm putting out contents, right? I'm telling you, don't. There is a reason why our medications are at a certain price because they're all R&D. There's a reason why they're the way. So don't take the easy alternative and then waste your money and waste your health. Most people, they come to my clinic, and Hazim will tell you this, yeah? We get inquiries to come and see us. And then they say, oh, mahal lah. How much is my supplement? Just 400, sometimes 200. Oh, mahal lah. Or saya beli magic tissue lah, RM50 saja. But you know what happens? There's a lot of side effects from it that they don't see. There's a bigger picture to it. So yes, Amar, if you ask me, there's a lot of things going on by non-doctors. Why? They know it's a problem. Patients are desperate. They need a solution. So they want to save money. They go the other method. They will regret and eventually come. I have had so many of these patients, Amar. Eventually they remove money, but they've already wasted money somewhere else.
Yes.
So that is what it is, Amar. This is the industry of men's health.
And more than that, they have permanent side effects like a blood pressure, a blood clot, because a lot of the products out there. So nutritionally, I take a lot of supplements because I've got a nutritionist. I've got I like to get masters in their trade. So my nutritionist is a champion nutrition. You are my hair guy. My trainer is a champion bodybuilder. So a lot of nutrition advice. So the right amount of tongkat ali to take the athletic grade is 400 mgs.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
But that is pure athletic grade.
Yes.
And I work out enough, so it's supplements. But the ones you see in the coffee and everything else, there's a lot of other hidden elements that you don't know.
Why is that, Amar?
It's a quick solution, I guess.
No, because they are not medicinal products that I needed to disclose all their components. My products, I need to disclose because I am coming from the basis of medical law. So they are not under that same pathway. So they don't have to disclose. And who's going to hold them accountable? Why do you think this tongkat ali and all works? There is something inside called a PDE5 inhibitor. The same action as your Viagra, as your Cialis. You don't know that. Doctor, sama ka tongkat ali? Oh, padu. You know what's inside? Back to science, brother. Back to science.
All right.
There's something inside that's giving you that results. Tongkat ali alone doesn't give you that.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, but people are not... They're not open to understanding why a certain product is working a certain way.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Amar, that is the problem. People are easily gullible these days.
And you see this TikTok shops, back Kunings, is just very quick fixes, quick fixes. And it's lasting damages.
Yeah, but if you ask, where did you buy this from? Adalah somebody cakap, siapa tu somebody? Doctor beli back kuning, doctor. Is that person a doctor? Does he know what he's saying?
Yeah.
Who are these people, man? Amar, I don't know who are these people.
Yeah.
A beautician is talking about aesthetic breast fillers, lip fillers. You're a beautician. You're not supposed. You have no license to do all that.
Yes.
And I made a video banging this, and that video went up to 115,000. Why? What happened? Amar, I'll share a story with you. 10 teenagers landed up in HKL hospital bed because they injected something in their penis and the penis was cut off.
Oh my God.
And I made a video on my TikTok and I condemned
This
the
happened
beautician.
in Malaysia?
Yeah, in HKL.
Oh my
I
God.
condemned the beautician who did it, and that video went crazy. 120,000
God.
views. Because who are you to inject? You have no license.
Correct.
Who are you? So, and I also made a video against urut batin. People think urut batin works. Amar, it's BS.
Yeah, so let's talk about urut batin. That seems to be a thing in Malaysia, right? I got a lot of my Malay friends. Before they get married, they go through this routine. They go see this either pachi or machi or whatever it is. Then they get a urut batin and everything else.
Yeah.
It's a Malaysian thing already. They believe this urut batin thing. So tell me about urut batin.
Okay, so
Does it work or is it both?
let me ask you something. Simple. I'm going to ask you back. If you have a broken bone, it's sticking out there. Do you go to surgery department, orthopedic, or do you go physiotherapy first?
Surgery, you gotta put it back inside first.
No, but I can urut it in what? No. Physiotherapy is basically mobility, movements, and all that.
Yeah.
But I can make you walk until the thing bone goes in. What?
No.
Why? Why?
Because it needs to be fixed first.
Exactly.
So it heals.
So when you're in that healing process, then physiotherapy comes.
Yes.
So urut batin is that physiotherapy. It's a supportive treatment. But the basic treatment is your medical treatment where you need to first. The penis has no bones, but it can break the hearts of many. You can quote me, Dr. M. Yeah. So the penis, muscle, and the blood supply are two things that gives you an erection. You have to first correct that too before you can go for supportive treatment like urut batin. I'm not against urut batin, but I'm against those people that says that they can do wonders that I cannot achieve. They're not saying that, but they're hinting that. Or I can do what Dr. Mazlan does. Really? With what? Just massaging? How?
So this so let's go deeper into this, all right? So this goes beyond urut batin. Now because I predominantly grew up in the Malay community. Every problem seems to be wanted to be solved with elixir or a massage.
Yeah.
I know someone who has 85% of his heart blocked.
Yes.
He knows this for years. And because this person had diabetes, had high blood pressure. So, you know, and he's a chain smoker.
Okay.
The gudang garams and everything else. And of course, the teh after Maghrib, teh isya,
He's
right? So Maghrib, lepak kawan, surau,
rokok satu, minum satu.
And then teh kosong,
night
not teh
pop
kosong. So this went on for years. And then Raya times, Puasa times, you know lah how it is. So when we were still 85% of the heart is blocked, I'm like, no shit, Sherlock, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised it didn't come sooner.
Okay.
And the doctor said like, you have to go for a bypass.
Yeah.
Because we can't fix it anymore.
Okay.
It's bypass already.
All right.
So we need to strengthen the veins in the legs and everything else because that's what goes, right?
Yeah.
So his immediate thing is, again, this is, I think, where you have to come in and say this. He's like, oh, we're going to go pray because somebody buat him. This is right? Somebody barang him. Like, okay, why? And then after that, there was all this sembahyang hajats and everything else done. I'm like, no, this is still a medical issue. Why are you going in this way? And then, of course, we know one tukang urut somewhere dekat border Kelantan, Terengganu. He's very good. And he's amazing in this. And I was like, yeah, it's not... So, how do we address something like that?
Now, to address this, I'm going to share a story with you. All right, Amar. I dated this one girl who... I'm not going to mention her name, neither I'm going to mention details about her. But
Was she hot?
Yeah, she was. But she was a hijabi. Okay, so her mother had breast cancer.
Oh dear.
And her mother passed away because of the family was very traditional orthodox. So you see, her mother was undergoing chemo. They stopped the chemotherapy in HUKM, took her to Kelantan for some Ayurvedic treatment.
Oh dear God.
And she passed away. That breast cancer could have been at least prolonged her life if they stuck with chemotherapy.
And breast cancer recovery is much higher.
Much higher, yeah. People rarely die from stage 3 and below.
Yeah.
Right? They die, okay, if it's metastasized, okay. But this is savable. They stopped the treatment and they went to Kelantan for treatment. Why? When I asked her, why did you do this? Oh, because family setuju, kita buat lah. Ignorance is actually the cause of everything. Ignorance is bliss. No, ignorance is fatal. Because when you're not understanding why certain things are done for certain reasons, you may not be able to comprehend the importance of what we are doing as doctors. When I explain to patients why you need PRP, minoxidil, and finasteride, why you need my supplements with the injections, when I explain to them the science, I can turn a person who is doubting me into my true follower. You need to understand, open your mind to understanding. So from general Malaysians is that they feel that they rather be ignorant and go with what has always been done. The same thing KKM does. They follow some old kuno method of doing things when things can be much simpler these days.
Yep.
So this is the problem with our society. We are too comfortable being a follower that we don't want to open our mind and be innovative. How are Europeans making progress? How is Singapore making progress? How is China making progress? Innovation in mentality first.
Yes.
Then comes the economic progress.
Yep.
So I think we have to change that society belief that there is truth in medical science. Trust the medical science and focus on educating yourself. Because educating yourself is something we don't do these days.
It's very true.
Oh, tengok viral. Oh, forward. Ni forward. Itu forward ni.
Just forward
Well,
saja.
forward saja. Asalkan forward family group.
Ding, ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding, ding. Why do you need...
No, it's true. In some parts of the world, if you say people are dying of heart attack and everything, they'll laugh at you like, why is that still an issue in your country? Like that, like for example, a common issue here is that the veins calcify,
Okay.
right? They found out that a lot of people actually get that because of a wrong prescription of statins.
Okay.
And the calcification is homocysteine spike.
Okay.
Homocysteine spike can be totally reversed if you take folated B12
Quite true.
and just goes away. I have never seen a single doctor prescribe me that.
Folate B12.
It's folated methyl folated B12. So your body just absorbs it.
Okay.
Or the benefits of a lot of people have a lot of deficiencies because they lack magnesium,
Correct.
which is, they lack zinc. These are the building blocks
Yeah.
of our DNA and everything
Correct.
else. Why is this not as part of the education? Why?
Okay. After you leave med school, right, you learn a certain blueprint. See, all doctors learn a certain blueprint. As we leave medical school and we go into the working world and we start our own private practice, the only way to start learning development is through journals, is to attending conferences. I love reading journals. I've published papers, if you've seen in my
Yes,
tape.
I have.
I published papers during med school itself because I love reading new advancements. So that is me. It's not the same for all doctors. I'm not saying I'm great because I do that. It's just something that I like doing, right? Because when I'm bored, I read. So doctors who actually update themselves with this latest, they will know these things. But doctors who don't have time to do that, they're not wrong. It's just that they're following what has always been done.
Something that is tried and tested many years
Many
ago.
years. So there are new ways of doing things now, even in men's health. So if you read, you'll be educated. So that's why coming back to this thing is that doctors also have to educate themselves. So they have CMEs, they have conferences, but not all doctors have the time. So Amar, as a patient, you have to sometimes forgive that the doctor may not know the latest technology. Just forgive that doctor because he's doing right, at least by the protocol that he was trained. Yeah, as long as it doesn't harm your health.
But in a lot of cases, that can end up being deadly and
It can.
counterproductive and everything.
It can,
else, right?
it can, yeah.
There are not many people studying medicine anymore,
No.
right? People are dropping out because of all these cases that's coming out. The horror stories.
Yeah.
Women being sexually harassed, men being sexually harassed,
Yep, I was.
right?
Yeah.
So it happens a lot. I mean, I come from the film and TV industry, so this is like, it's part of the culture, but it's not so much.
Yeah.
That's things. This is a medicine profession. People
Right.
look up to doctors in a very different way. So if this happens, then we're going to lose the amount of doctors we have. We're going to have lesser doctors per patient count.
Yeah, yep.
We need to import in foreigners, but foreigners won't come inside here because we're paying them in ringgit and not in dollars.
$9.
It's not attractive enough. So it will all end in a very bad way.
Correct.
Which is why if you go to a country like UK, there's a lot of doctors from Pakistan, there's a lot of doctors from Bangladesh, a lot of doctors from India,
They invest.
right?
Yeah.
And India itself doesn't have that amount.
Correct.
Not so much now. They are becoming a world power, so it's okay. But in other countries,
Yeah.
so I'm like, what is going to be the future of Malaysian medical health if this doesn't transform?
See, Amar, in China, what they do is doctors are paid. Let's say you hire me. We're in China right now. Let's take this back to China. You're a very big time businessman and your family is like 6, 7 people. You hire me as a personal doctor. My salary stops the day you fall sick. You understand the mindset shift. My job is to make sure you are living a healthy lifestyle. The day you fall sick, I get a salary cut.
Wow.
So you're not paying me to treat you. You're paying me to keep you healthy.
Right.
You understand the mindset
It's a
shift.
very different thing.
Very different thing. In Malaysia, we only go to a doctor when we're not feeling well.
Correct.
Until then, you're taking time bomb. Anything can happen.
Yes.
So the problem with our system is that doctors stop enjoying being a doctor anymore. That's why people are running to the UK. And let's not be far apart. I sent my sister off to the UK.
Oh dear.
My sister is doing medicine. The most brilliant in our family. Before I was the first, and she. So she is very brilliant. She was from College Tunku Jaffa. She was the only mixed race Muslim who scored top of her batch.
Wow.
So we sent her off to the UK. She's in Scotland, St Andrews. She got a seat. Very brilliant girl. And I told her, Madhya, don't ever come back. I love you. I will come and see you. But don't come back. You stay there. And the reason why is because if my sister went through what I went through,
yes,
I would murder the doctor who did that to her.
Correct.
I'm sorry I'm saying this on camera, but it pisses me off that people can sexually harass doctors, sexually harassing doctors because the juniors cannot wise up. Pisses me off. So if that happened to my sister, Amar, I will forget that I'm a doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I would do the same.
I'll become Genghis Khan. So, because you said Genghis Khan's DNA is everywhere, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So, but I told her, go to the UK, learn their way of management, learn the way they treat patients, learn how they treat their colleagues,
Yes.
and never come back. And she's happily there in the system. In order for you to change that doctors are not pushing drugs anymore, you got to first take care of your employees.
Yes.
Why Dr. A's company thrive? Each and every employee is well taken care of.
Yes.
You don't ask me, you ask the people behind you. They are from that company.
Yeah.
But in KKM, you're easily replaceable. Tak nak kan? Keluar.
Blah.
Belah. Kita boleh replace. They have this mindset. When you start taking care of doctors, like how the NHS system,
Yes.
the moment you have a mental problem, like I mean that you're too stressed, it's okay. Take a sabbatical leave. Go and rest yourself and come back. Because an unhealthy doctor cannot treat a patient if you're not optimum enough to treat the patient. Here, we don't care if you're overworked. If you collapse, put an IV drip and go to work.
Yes.
If you take an MC, kenapa ambil MC? Hey, doctors need to rest too, man. Doctors are also human.
Yes.
The day KKM takes care of its doctors, I promise you, we won't have this issue anymore. Today, I get resumes every day from friends of mine who are seeing this success today. Can you hire me, Mazlan? Can you give me a job? Can you use your connections, get me a job? It's like, why? What's going on? Exactly the reason why you left.
Oh dear. So nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. And Amar, if you want to change the system, value the doctors first.
Right.
Because the patients are well taken care of, but the doctors are not. So what happens? The vicious cycle. Doctors start taking it out on the patients. Less optimum care. Because they don't care.
Yeah.
You're not taking care of me. Why should I take care of you? We have to end that.
That cycle has to end.
That cycle has to end. Take care of your doctors, your nurses, everybody in the hospital. Even the cleaner is also important.
Yes.
If they are not cleaning the hospital, you're going to have a lot of hospital-acquired infection. That's going to do harm to both doctors and patients.
Yeah.
Everyone in that hospital, from the level of below to the top-end consultants, everyone is important. The day KKM takes care of them, Amar, you will see a change.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that there has been push from a lot of private doctors to transform how KKM is going to work.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much of it, because after my dad's passing, it was a government hospital. I'm not going to say which one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to live on my own terms. I'm going to die on my own terms. I'm going to be financially sufficient enough to be able to find the best doctors for all of my healthcare needs.
Okay.
Which is my thing. Even certain levels of blindness can be cured. Like it's amazing medical science.
Yes, it is.
So like even hair.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 80s.
Okay.
So the only man the whole Malaysia knows with hair transplant was Sami Velu. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this can be hair transplant too.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to. So it has evolved so much.
Yeah, it has.
From that.
Correct.
So there shouldn't be a taboo associated with it.
Correct. It is coming, Amar. It is coming because I feel like, the success of a transplant doctor is in the way we make it look very natural. If we can achieve that and people can look at you and say that I've never done, it's not transplant. For sure, it's not. We win as doctors.
Right.
That's our pride. That's our joy.
Right.
So the taboo is actually slowly coming off because when influencers, when people who are known to many, people like yourself, when they come and do and they speak about it openly, people are like, oh, it's okay. Like, even for men's health, when they come and get penis injections and they openly make a video with me, like you see these celebrities, people are starting to accept, like, hey, it's okay that we have a problem. We are going to find a solution with a guy doctor. So it's okay. And people are slowly breaking that taboo.
Right.
Indian celebrities, Hawak Madan. Can I say this?
Yeah.
Because they are openly talk about it. Hawak Madan, BGW, they all come for hair treatment, hair transplant. And they are proudly telling people that it's okay. Come and get it done. You have a problem, find a solution.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. Because what's important for a man? Like Dr. A's tagline, restoring your confidence.
Yes.
Without confidence, it will chip away on your masculinity.
Yes.
And what is my tagline? Mastering masculinity. So together we are trying to build your confidence in whatever way we can, whether it's the head above or the head below, and bringing you back to your full masculinity. Only when you're in your true masculine essence, you can function fully as a man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very well said message. So now we've talked about almost an hour about men stuff.
Okay.
Let's not forget our other half, the female counterpart.
Yeah.
So what plans you guys got for females?
Wow. Okay. So we are actually going to start up a new center, a new division under hair for hair rejuvenation actually. Now, what is hair rejuvenation? So we already handpicked our doctor. It is actually the blood brother of my current assistant. So his name is Dr. Razim Shah. So he will be our new addition doctor on board. And alongside him, his right-hand man is the man sitting behind you, Mr. Anwar. So these two good-looking guys are going to be the face of Hair Rejuvenation Clinic, where we provide treatment for patients who do not need hair transplant, but who are having hair and scalp issues. For women and for men, but mostly women. So women normally go for spa, and these people will tell you heads and tails which are not even true. They will scan. Oh, you have something wrong. You don't even know what is going on.
Yes.
Okay, I trust you. They do some hair treatment, you have hair loss. So instead of doing that, why don't you come to a certified doctor, a certified center, and get proper information, use proper medicinal products, use proper shampoo, and see the improvement. And if you don't see the improvement, at least we sit down and discuss where we can improve. So that is the new division. We are excited about it, and we are looking forward to launch it maybe somewhere next year. Yeah, it's a New Year's plan that we have.
That'll be amazing.
That will be amazing
because women also, right, especially those who go through menopause and everything else, they lose their confidence, they lose their essence. They feel like the femininity has been taken away from them. And you see in the Western world, they supplement, they go, they work out and everything else. They stay prim and proper. We don't want that not to happen here. We want, right? So giving men back their confidence. So I think this is a way forward, giving women back their confidence too, right?
Correct. I want women to understand that at any age, you still can look good. And you're looking good for your husband, for yourself. Why? It's because marriage falls apart when the woman and man both stop putting effort for each other.
Correct.
You have to look good for yourself first and for your wife.
Right.
Because there's something in Islam called nafkah zahir and nafkah batin.
Correct.
Yes, nafkah batin means sexual pleasure, but if you're not attracted to your wife anymore, how are you going to get your penis up?
Right.
Right. You're going to self-induce erectile dysfunction. So looking good for your partner is very important. Right. It's couples therapy.
Okay.
And that effort is something that you have to do it for a long-lasting relationship to work. So women, when they feel better, they have treatment under proper guidance, proper doctors, certified doctors, they're eventually going to have that confidence within themselves.
Right.
I look good for my husband.
Right.
Yeah. So it's good. It's a nice feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
So aesthetics is not just surface. It is also affects you soulfully inwards.
Yeah. So people think aesthetic medicine is only superficial.
It's shallow.
Shallow, very shallow. Yeah, there's a lot of vanity in aesthetic medicine. But everybody wants to look good these days.
Right.
And looking good has created so much of mental problems, mental health problems, that people are committing suicide. Oh, I feel ugly. I have body dysmorphic. Jump down the building.
Gosh.
Or self-induced vomiting till you die. Take laxatives.
Mm.
One of my staff did that.
Oh dear
She
God.
took laxatives and then she had a perforation of intestine. She was admitted in Queen for surgery.
God.
She eventually resigned. So aesthetics causes mental health issues. This is the new disease of the 21st century. That's why we exist. We are here to tell you that everything is fixable. Just come to the right hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, come to the right hands. So that is our podcast with Dr. M. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, Amar.
And was a lot of mind-blowing facts there. So if you are a man and you feel that you need men's health advice, go see a doctor. Don't just bag kuning. Thank you, Dr. M.
Thank you so much,
I
Amar.
hope to see you on other further episodes if we have something.
Definitely,
to talk about,
definitely.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.